Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and Ram, serving the Finger Lakes since 1963. And TrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening. You got me now?
No, I got nothing in my headset.
Now, didn't you just a second ago have everything?
No, I didn't. Never have.
You said we were all set. We didn't have to check it.
I had everything on. I had everybody.
No.
Yeah.
Do those headphones work, John? You check those ones? There's one other set of headphones here.
Yeah, try those.
What is going on? We missed it like a month, and now nothing works.
I had everything set up, and this was working fine.
I don't know. Where's the static coming from, too?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
How about that, John? You got it?
I got nothing in there.
Nothing in there, so it's got to be the cord that connects all those to that. Wherever that might go.
I'm telling you right now, I just put it together and was looking at.
Now it's just weird when I talk. I like hearing myself.
Well, I'm sorry. Is that any better?
No, I don't hear anything.
No. It's popping and hissing and cracking. That's
And
awesome.
we're getting, holy crap, it's loud.
It's loud. All right.
All right, we're working on that, too.
Well, holy crap! Turn your volume down.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
You know, this stuff never happened when I was
Never
here alone.
happens.
Never happened when I was here alone.
Yeah.
You think?
Of course not. Of course not.
No, nothing like this ever happened.
So.
Anyway, I don't know. I give up.
Yeah, of course, because you got sound in your headphones.
Yeah, that's why you guys.
That's why it gives up. What's that sound?
That sounds great.
I don't know what's going on here.
Sounds like the board's gonna blow up. I'm peeking out.
There is a bad cable on that right there.
We are.
Go get in that seat.
I don't want to change seats. I'm comfortable. Are those headphones over there work? Hold on, let me try them out.
Try those headphones over here.
How about the fact that this isn't even plugged in?
That might be one of the things that was causing a problem.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Try it now. Now, why is it
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
I
fine.
can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything. Yeah.
30 seconds ago, when you wanted to do a mic check, I said okay, and I opened all the mics. I could hear everybody.
Oh, you said when I asked, you said, "Oh, I got everything all set." That's what you said.
Then you started running off at the mouth and getting all bent into shape, so I opened them all up.
Well, we've
I've been working
heard
here
that
since
story
6 o'clock.
before, as you can see.
Well, good. Mike found something. We're gonna have to.
Those are working.
Yeah, so I'm moving.
What the hell?
Stewart Friesen is gonna be on later, if you can believe that. This is why we do it live.
Well,
More fun to screw it up.
all those people out there and
I bet you they're impressed. Well, at
their
least
house, their homes, wanted all of us back on the show. Well, here we are.
Yep. Yeah.
Great job.
Put it
Holy moly.
put it wide right without even trying.
Nor wide.
John, how was Super Dirt Week?
Long. No, it was good. A whole different experience for me working. You know, I've been going there since 1985 as a fan, and this is my first time actually working it. So it was a whole new Super Dirt Week experience for me. I was exhausted when it was done. So it started like the Sunday prior for me though, having to go down there and help put banners up and put some scaffolding up and this, that, and a lot of things that had to be done. And was there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 8 days was it was long. I was glad it was over.
You make it sound like it was terrible though.
No,
Long time.
no, it's a whole different thing when you're working every day, as opposed to just being there as a fan, drinking your beer, playing your Polish horseshoes or whatever it is that you do there. You know, milling around, seeing people. You know, that's the whole part of Super Dirt Week. And then you go in the stands and watch them racing. And when you're there as an employee working, it's a whole different side of things. And you know, believe me, as a fan, I walked out of there exhausted too. You needed a vacation from your vacation, but it was a different kind of exhaustion this time.
Yeah.
You know.
Is my nope.
Do I have a mic? Oh, I'm back.
Yep.
And
So
we're
we got
back.
so we got you straightened out.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm in. I got sound, so life's a lot better. Balmus is still searching for the...
Elusive cable.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this chair is not nearly as comfortable as that
I'm
one.
sorry.
And this
What-
microphone's kind of scary. It, like, blocks my face. I mean, I do have a face for radio, but
You
still.
look really professional with that thing hanging right there next to you.
What, this thing? I look like I
Yeah,
actually
you
know
look-
what I'm doing,
yeah,
right? It's just
yeah.
weird now. I got to look at you this way. I almost want to
You
turn
don't
my
have to
chair.
look at me. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I know,
Look at
but
John.
it's just it's habit. Like over there, I can make eye contact, and it's very special.
There's
Yeah.
too many wires over here.
So we're going with it. Well, big breaking news. I just confirmed on the way here is that it's official. Rolling Wheels has been sold. I got in touch with multiple sources, and they have
this is
confirmed
today. This-
that it's the same group.
That was passing out the flyers.
Yeah, and
in
it's
March.
and that the sale has gone through. So take that for what it's worth, but it is
Believe me, I
a
see it in print.
it is I just printed it on Dirt Track Digest.
Good grief.
I guess there's a press release forthcoming, but
Was that a simultaneous break? It was announced. On
I announced it right then. I hit post, and then I announced it here. So yes,
That was nice of you. I
It was
appreciate that.
at the same time.
It's a good looking shirt you got there.
You like this?
I do.
My Bob
The
Hilbert
hoodie?
sportswear hoodie. Got to thank those guys. They really helped us look good at Dirt Week. We
Well,
I got a new polo shirt.
speak for
today, too.
yourself.
yeah, I looked better than I normally do. Doesn't take much though.
I got a new Mid-Lake Screaming Eagles polo shirt today to wear when I'm at the school.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
not nearly as cool as Dirt Track Digest. Though.
No, but it's okay. It's all right. Nobody's as cool as us. It's fine.
Oh, brother.
How was your Dirt Week, man?
Mine?
Yeah.
Ugh. You know, I love. Listen, everybody loves Dirt Week and all that. Everybody has a great time, and it's work, man. It's a job. It's all it was.
Relentless pace.
Yeah, it's nonstop. I mean, everybody else takes a week off, and I think if I had the week off, like I do for when I go to Knoxville and everything, it'd be fine. But the real job thing gets in the way.
I understand
You know,
that.
I got to go to work every day, and then you go to all the satellite stuff. You're working all night. You know, you're writing stories and this and that, trying to get stuff out. And
Did you go to the Super Nationals too?
no, I went to Rolling Wheels on Saturday night, so
Yeah.
I did.
Now, why would you go to Rolling Wheels over the Super Nationals?
Well, it's just because it's 15 minutes from where I'm at.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because of sprint cars.
No.
Yeah, it's because it was spring car.
No, you know, listen.
Don't let them fool you.
No, that definitely is a deciding factor for me. But I don't dislike big shows. Like I would love to go to Deo Show if it was at Rolling Wheels and they had 60 modifieds. I'd be fine with it.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean both shows. I heard 5 Mile Point had a
Depends
good
on
show
who you
too.
ask.
Yeah, I mean I heard 5 Mile Point had a good show too. So I mean, hey, good for both of them. But for me, being 15 minutes from Syracuse when you get done it. By the time I'm all just said and done, packing up and putting, getting the radio off and doing interviews and whatever else you got to do, it's 6 o'clock.
Right.
So my options are to do what? I mean, I'm not like I'm not like a casual fan where I can just book out of there and, I don't have stuff or other responsibilities. So it just makes it easier for me. And I'm fortunate. I had a great team of folks at Dirt Week this year that really busted their butts. I mean, they worked their tails off for me. Bill Foley came on board with us this week, and between him and John Douglas and myself, we covered pretty much every angle or anything you can get. Leon Andrews wrote a couple stories for us. I mean, it was great. And my photographers, we kicked butt. I had a good week there. So it was our, if we're looking at it from a positive and a happy perspective, not all the work you got to do, but it was probably the best week in the history of the site since the new ownership group has
That's awesome.
taken control. Yeah, we did
Congratulations, dude.
exceptionally well. And again, I put a post up in the forum. I thank the fans. I mean, that's ultimately who helped us. Normally you see a drop off on the weekend coverage because everybody shows up for Super Dirt Week, and this year our numbers actually grew, and every day we had more people on the front page. And our live coverage,
You had all the coverage, people watching the coverage because you had a rock star there.
who's that?
You had Clinton on the scene.
Oh, Clint on the scene.
He's a rock star. That guy.
Yeah, I mean there was some, Clint. We don't see him much. Those guys live. Him and Adam.
Once a year.
Yeah, him and Adam come in for
Yeah,
Dirt
Canadian
Week.
Thanksgiving.
There are help at Dirt Week. And I got to tell you, Clint and his man JT, they freaking crushed the video stuff. I mean, they put up every 2 minutes he's coming in uploading interviews, or a guy drop out of the race, they'd go find him, ask him what happened, and get an interview and put it. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, I can't.
It's awesome.
It was awesome. You can't ask for more than that. And again, none of us do this for the money. You know that. I mean, it's it's more about the love of the sport. But and if it wasn't for all those folks willing to do what they do for me for basically nothing other than some free food once in a while and some clothing, we wouldn't be able to do what we did. So again, it is appreciated for again all the help. And again, like I said, I appreciate all the fans that helped us, and I appreciate all the people on Twitter and and on Facebook that have thanked us and appreciate what we do, because you do it because you like it. It's not, again, it's not our job. I'm a school teacher. George sells pools. Adam sells trucks. Clint does his thing. We all kind of do our own thing. GT doesn't even live here. He lives in Florida. Comes up for 1 week. So it's nice to be able to have it all come together and do as well as we did. We had a great week. I don't think it was as good as Stewie's week though. Stewie had a pretty good weekend. Fifth place in a win, and in a
Stewie, Shepard, and Brett had a really good week.
Yeah, it was. Well, Stewie broke the motor there, the small block motor, so that kind of put a damper on it. But he started the week good at winning. Yeah, or Shepard. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Shepard winning at Weedsport, and there's a lot of talk about Weedsport. I thought the place looked amazing. This is the first time I've been back. That place was awesome. It does.
What a awesome. Great job they've done with that place.
I don't know.
You don't even recognize it anymore.
No, it does not look.
It's not the same place.
No. I mean, the one thing, the one issue everybody's
driving. Right. You didn't go to the live show.
I couldn't.
John had been there.
Yeah, I couldn't go just because.
Oh, that's right. The big block show. I
couldn't. I was in Knoxville. Right. Yeah, I was in Knoxville. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
because they had changed since that show to the Super Dirt Week show.
Well, now it's red clay and all that. All those.
They put down the new clay and they added more stands down in Turn 4.
Yeah, we're not there. The only complaint, the only complaint that we had, or that people that I were talking to, is the surface. They weren't. It was slippery, and even Jimmy Phelps.
Grip. I know the drivers complaining.
And Jimmy Phelps,
but it was the first race on it.
Right. Jimmy Phelps even said, look, we got some work to do with this clay. We don't know it. We haven't.
Well, yeah.
And he said we're going to do everything we can to get it better. So if you read my story from, I think I talked to him Thursday night at Brewerton. After, who won Thursday night at Brewerton? Oh my God, Brett Hearn. Yeah. Okay. One of the things that I talked to Jimmy Phelps about was, hey, a lot of the complaints have been about the clay. What do you guys, what are your plans? And he said, we got to figure it out. It's the first race on it. We didn't want it to get rough. And
that's the thing that really surprised me. That night I saw Matt during the course of the evening, and I asked him if him and Jimmy had a chance to even get on the racetrack prior to Wednesday's race.
No.
And he said no. They hadn't even been on it.
Right.
Which, a lot of people just assume because they're housed right there, their shop's right there on the premises.
Yeah, they said they did a couple of laps.
People think that they can go on that track anytime they want, and they hadn't even been on it. So they haven't even had a chance to test it on their own.
Yeah.
That was the first they hit it was with everybody else.
Yeah. So that was a good show. Brewerton, it never disappoints. I mean, it was a good race again. I mean, Brett Hurd started on the knob and won, but everything behind him was impressive. It was fun to watch. And not that Brett had it easy. I mean, he was stalked. He was hounded the whole race. Danny was there. Yeah, I mean, it was a great race. Jimmy Phelps had a great battle. Ryan Susi, I mean, what a story that week was. I mean, it didn't end all that well for him, but what a story he was winning the win in your in. That win in your in race on Saturday night was probably the best modified race I've seen at Brewerton at Rolling Wheels, and it was awesome.
And he won in Jeremy Corcoran's car.
Yeah, it was. And he came from he went in and pitted. And he came back out last out of 15 cars on the track, and he raced his way up through, and with 3 to go, passed. I don't remember who he passed. This tells you how much I remember the week, but made the Chris Heil pass Heil for the lead.
Yeah.
On the outside, it was awesome. And then the sprint car race, everybody says, "Oh, there's no passing in sprint cars." Whatever, that was a great race. Donnie Schatz started 5th, battled the gravel, ultimately got him. So that was a good race. I mean, I wasn't disappointed with anything. I thought it was. Overall, this was probably the best racing I saw at a Super Dirt Week since I've been going, in terms of guys being able to race and pass and do their thing. I mean, it was that good. I mean, the Silver Crown race.
Yeah, a lot of people were really pissing and moaning about the Silver Crown race at Super Dirt Week, which majority of those people aren't wingless fans to begin with because they don't know any of those guys because they don't follow it.
I mean, I know them. I always have some knowledge of it.
I know majority of those guys that were there.
It was a disappointment.
I was glad they were there, but the major disappointment was just the lack of cars.
Well, then the other thing
and that's why the
lack of cars.
You don't generally see the greatest of shows all the time at Syracuse anyway. That place is historically very difficult. It's tough to pass.
How was the Pro Stock race this year?
We all know that. But having only 15 cars there in attendance, that's what really kind of
ruined
hurt that show.
Yeah, the other thing, I mean, it was 78 laps, I think it was, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It just everybody rode around for it was like, I guess it was like.
But
every
I
other
will
race.
say the race was entertaining at the very end.
At the end, it was a good race.
It was a very good race.
Like the last lap.
I mean, Bobby East led majority of the race. Cody Swanson got him late, and then AJ Fike got to Swanson.
I thought
and took a shot at him and going into one on a final lap. At
if
least he made
Steve
it interesting.
Buckwalter wasn't there in the middle of it, I think Fike gets him.
because he was coming up.
He got shoved
Swanson
out.
was coming up on
and
lap
he
traffic,
shoved him out.
and Fike gave it a shot on the outside, and it just didn't stick.
Yeah,
but at least he made it interesting on the final lap. So all in all, that race, the ending was fairly exciting.
Right.
You know?
I agree. Yeah, I thought it was the end was good. The only other tough thing about it was there's so many cars now. Like the infield was out of control.
Oh yeah.
It was packed in there.
They got to do something about.
I don't know what to do.
And I don't know what the solution is, but the pit areas, there's pit areas everywhere now.
Yeah, it's
your pro
crazy.
stock guys are way over in 3 and 4. The sportsmen are way over in 1 and 2. The USAC haulers.
We're in the middle of the infield.
Where our camping spot is.
Used to be, right?
Where the haulers were for them. Our camping spot got shoved down 10 spots to make room for the USAC hauler parking. And and they pitted the cars on the cinder track. And then obviously your modifieds were all pitted in the normal pit area on the front stretch.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what the solution is there.
I don't know. I mean, again,
the pit areas they're everywhere. They're scattered all over the place, and for me, obviously doing all my contingency stuff with the decals, I had to do all 4 classes this week, not just the big blocks like I did all summer. So I'm chasing these guys all over all these pit areas, and you don't know where anybody is. Like a lot of the pro stock and sportsman guys, I know some, but I don't know a lot of them.
Right.
So I don't even know who I'm looking for.
Right.
To go inspect a certain car. I just know I'm looking for a number 4. What does it look like? I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're chasing them all over the grounds looking for these cars.
It's tough. Again, I don't know if there's a solution there.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of cars that was good, but they need to figure out.
The pro stock pit area was like a makeshift pit area. They put up fencing, but the fencing was only on certain sides. Right. You could actually walk right in there. It was part of the whole midway.
Right.
Where your vendors and stuff are.
I don't know. I guess that's a great problem to have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, too many cars. Ultimately, there was too many cars.
You want a lot of cars, of course.
And then the other crazy thing you got people not paying attention on their golf carts, whatever, and just driving. I'm walking up.
To me, that's the biggest issue, and it has been for the last 20 years.
Yeah, just pay attention.
With the ATVs and the golf carts, it's such a serious problem. I wish it could be policed more. I understand the income that it brings because you got to register every single one of them.
And and I'm not saying taking them away.
Those things should be allowed only for teams because they use it to push the car out. There's random fans that just buy pit passes, don't have anything to do with teams, and they're running in and out of the pit area, and most of them are drunk.
Like we had a golf carts for our staff.
Right.
And that's just because we got guys all over, so we want to be able to get them, and if something happens, we want to be able to bring them a battery, whatever.
It's a serious bitch walking around on foot, though.
Yeah. Oh, it is because it sucks.
I was more walking around the pit area all week. Again, this is my first time working Super Dirt Week, so I spent more time in the pits than I ever have there.
Yeah.
So for me, I was more on alert and more worried about getting run over by an ATV or a golf cart than it was a race car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too.
They're coming from all different directions, and they just.
Yep. Me too.
They're screaming as wide open through the pit area, and they're not. Most of them, they're not even paying attention.
Yep. No, I agree.
They don't even know what the hell they're doing.
And that's my biggest issue with it. Is you got people, and I mean, I'm standing on the side. I'm standing out of the way. I mean, I'm over next to a hauler up against it, and I nearly got run over.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm standing here. I'm not in the middle of the road. I'm out of the way, and you're 3 inches from running my foot over.
Right. It is a huge issue, and it has been for years.
Yeah.
But again, I understand the income that those things bring in for World Racing Group, so they're never going to do away with it totally. But I wish we could.
I have no problem
somehow.
Right. I have no problem with it, but you shouldn't have anybody that's drinking should not be in the pits on a golf cart or any of that.
I agree, and again, I don't know how you police that.
If you're there for fun, stay out of the pits.
Fans should not be allowed to bring those things in the pit area. It should be just for teams. A team has a registered golf cart or ATV because they use it to push the car, whatever. But a lot of those coming in and out of there are just random fans who bought pit passes.
Yeah.
And they registered their golf cart.
Right, and then they're drinking all day and acting like idiots.
Exactly.
And then they're,
running around in there.
Again, I have no problem with people wanting to go in the pits and all that. I think that's fine. But if you're going to drink and you're going to drive your golf cart, don't do it there.
Yeah.
Don't do it in the pit area.
Because it's extremely
during the middle
dangerous.
of the day, because it's just, and again, it's one thing at night when everybody's having fun. There's no race cars moving.
that was
and all
the other
Have fun
issue.
with that. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Everybody knows that.
That was the other issue I noticed this year, because the last several years they've really cracked down. The golf carts and the four-wheelers have to be put away by a certain time at night. This year they did not police that. They were running wild all night long.
Yeah, I mean, I've been guilty of us taking golf carts out on Sunday night, having fun, whatever. And I got no problem with people having fun at night, but don't drive it through the pits during the middle of the day when you're
There's
doing
racing going on.
Right, exactly.
They don't belong there.
Because there's cars coming in off the track.
Yes.
And the pit area is just too congested.
And the drivers shouldn't have to be worrying about that.
Right.
They have
I
enough
agree.
to worry about with
I agree.
spectators. They don't need to worry about all those things running around.
So I don't know. We'll get back. I think we can get back to that. I want to make sure we get. We're not
an hour
done.
on it.
Yeah, but we want to make sure we can get back to to Stewart Friesen.
You gonna try and call him?
Again, we'll talk a little bit about the 200. As you know, I mean, we'll talk to Stewart Friesen about it, but major issues for Friesen during that race. Had an issue with the shock on the left rear, then had an issue with getting fuel into the car. Something they had a vent issue, and at the end of the day, I mean, I was listening to him on the radio. He kept saying, "I think we're done. We're done. We're
I
in
don't know
trouble."
how many
And
total pit stops he made, but
yeah,
he made
but
quite a few.
4,000. It seemed like he was on pit road every lap, and at the end of the day, they were able to make repairs, and he earned it. I mean, this was not a fuel mileage race. This was not a I luck into it because somebody ran out.
Yeah, there was only a couple of guys that had any kind of fuel issues at the very end.
Peter Britton went for it. I mean, Brett Hearn, I believe, had a fuel issue. I don't know. I never talked to him, but
I'm not
that
sure
was
what
the
his issue
assumption.
was.
But they came down
That's
to
what
put
it
fuel in
appeared
the
to
car
be, because they tried to push the car after he got going.
Right. Yeah.
After he got to pit road, they pushed the car off, and he finally got going a couple laps.
I mean,
down.
McCready, I believe, broke a wheel while leading. I don't think he was going to win it anyway. I think he was going to run out of gas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I honestly think he would have ran out of fuel.
He was on the same boat as Britton.
Yeah. But you had Shepard and Stewie, both guys on full tank, full gas, ready to rock and roll. And I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
So good. Well, joining us here on the 31st lap now is none other than the winner of Super Dirt Week 43. Driver of the 44, Stewart Friesen. And Stewart, again, man, congratulations. And thanks for taking time out to join us here on the 31st lap. I think this month, if we looked at it, we probably could have had you or the wife on every weekend, considering what you guys have done here the last few weeks.
It's been, I'll tell you what, it's been a good, month and a half here for us. Her team's been rolling well, and our teams have been rolling right along too. So, picking up the win Sunday was another, good shot in the arm for us.
Let's talk about the win. So many different things went into this victory. In the past, you've won it on the fuel mileage game, out there, feathering the throttle, letting off before you get to the flag stand, all that. How much fun was it to go out there? And I guess the only way really to put it is just to drive that car balls to the wall for 100 laps. It
was a lot of fun. It wasn't the way we had planned on it at the beginning of the day. At the beginning of the day, we had really we were on the same strategy as Timmy McCready was, and which proved to be pretty much the right strategy. I think without his issue he had there with his left rear wheel, but we would have been right there behind him. Would we have had enough fuel? It would have been close. It should have been probably good to the 5 or 6 laps the way the cautions fell. That we didn't have as many cautions in the last 25 as we did last year, so probably would have been okay. But just how the circumstances worked out for us. We had a shock brake. Chose to just kind of get off sequence and get that fixed right, so we were good for the last 125 laps. I think that was around lap 50 or 60 when that broke. And then our fuel stop there. I think it was 90 or 70 or whenever it was with Timmy. That's when all hell broke loose, and for whatever reason we didn't get fuel, and had to circle back around, come back in, get fuel again, and came in the next caution again to get fuel, and then to change tires. We were already at the back, so we gave up a ton of track position, and then from there out it was kind of it was one of those things where I was kind of down in the dumps. I kind of thought we could get back to maybe a top 10, and the way the guys were kind of blocking that outside when I'd roll up on them there, I thought no way. I just thought no way it's going to happen. These guys are all going to move up, and some of them tried, but we just kind of got better and better and better as the car rolled along, and those guys started to back up a little bit more, and next thing we knew we were up, contending with the top 5.
At what point did you know that you had a chance to win. I know, like I asked you in the post-race press conference, you were talking, because I was listening to the radio. I always try to, I was listening to you and Brett had shock issues, and then you had the fuel issue, and, I'm listening over the radio, and you can tell just everyone kind of is demoralized. Like, it takes a wind out of your sails when you have little things like that kind of pop up, those gremlins come and bite you. But it seemed like, as the race went on, everybody got more positive. As you started passing cars, the attitude just started changing. At what point did you know that you had the car to beat?
Well, I knew we had a good car and a shot, once we got clear of Brett, we got around, I forget who was up there, Vic Coffey, and, we got up to J.R. Hefner and Britton and those guys. And, we got by Britton, got into second. The caution came back out. They put me back behind Britton. And that was like, oh, man, that kind of took the wind out of my sails again, because we were had a tough time getting by him the first time. So we were able to sneak back by and then go back at Shepard. But there wasn't really a point at all where, it's one of those points where you get kind of overconfident and the steering wheel starts to melt in your hands and, things go wrong. It was always, until we came off of 4 and I saw those checkered flags, it was, it was a battle. It was an uphill battle the whole time.
Does it make winning the race, make it different? You're battling with Matt Shepard. If you look at this season, anybody that follows dirt modified racing knows that the two guys that you have to beat wherever you go on a consistent basis, it's either Stewart Friesen or Matt Shepard. You kind of talked about it in Victory Lane. How much fun is it that it comes down between the two hottest drivers in big block modified racing to win the Syracuse race? It's almost like that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it was cool. Like you said, we've had a great year. The past couple of years have been really good for us and our teams. Matt's had a great year. Switching teams and getting involved with Al Hankey and the Troyer team there was a big shot in there for himself, I think, and Gilly and all his guys that work hard on his stuff. It's two teams where we get along. Where a lot of times we'll have beers together after the races. Either with his crew guys or our crew guys. Everybody kind of gets along. We race together at Utichrome every week. But that being said, we're fierce competitors. That I know the last person he wanted to see getting a run and getting in front of him was me. And he's a very competitive driver too. So to be able to race it out with a top-notch guy like that is very, very cool. I think the fans, really enjoyed it. I'm sure the fans probably got more out of it than what we got out of it. Because when you're battling somebody, you usually don't want to battle the toughest guy. You kind of take somebody that's, that makes it a little bit easier. But he's definitely the toughest guy in our sport right now. Next to Brett, Billy Decker's really picked it up. Those guys, and they were all up there, so we had to battle all of them. And I think the fans really got their money's worth. Seeing everybody go at it like that.
Yeah, I thought it was very fitting that it came down to you two at the very end. Our sport's biggest race that we have all year long, that it came down to Stewart Friesen and Matt Shepard, because those are the last few years. Those are the two guys that we know, that are the winningest guys all season long. So it was very fitting that our biggest race came down head to head, Matt against Stewie.
Take us through the last couple of laps. I know you put the D400s on, which is the softer compound, not something that traditionally works, but it paid off for you on Sunday. And then talk about that pass to Shepard. He moved up and basically took the same line you were running, and somehow you still were able to get that run around the outside coming off a 2, and then you made the pass in no man's land, or as Joe Morado would say, the Raffadillies out there in turn 3 on the outside.
Yeah. We were rolling good and got to the top 5, and Matt was still kind of in line, I think behind Timmy and I forget JR maybe who was up there. And we had just about got clear of him once and slipped a little bit too, and he got back by. And the next lap, he got up to the top, and found that line and just went boom right to the lead. And I was like, oh crap, it's kind of game over now. He's found the line. It's going to be really tough because through the whole race, the whole 170 laps before that was really the only place I could get the car good enough to get up alongside somebody, make a pass, was kind of roll up next to him in 1 and 2, and then just slip and slide off at 2 and kind of get cleared on the backstretch. But once we got into second, we kind of changed it up and would roll on the top. And then, clean air is so crucial to our cars, and then the amount of downforce they make now. It's pretty comparable to a sprint car. And once he moved up there, I could kind of roll down. Once we got first and second, I could kind of roll down the hill, so to speak, and stay in clean air off the bottom of 2 and get some grip. But then couldn't do anything as I got to his deck lid in 3 and 4. We would lose that car length again. Car would get out of shape and you get in dirty air, and you lose that again. So I could get to him and then get in 3 and 4, and he'd get away that car length. And so I think whoever was on the radio with him was probably letting him know that as what if I was in front, Bobby Hearn and my guys Kevin Ayers would be telling me, all right, his weakness is here in 3 and 4, so that's where you got to really protect. And we were just able to get a good enough run, and he backed it down to make sure he didn't slip up off the bottom, and not thinking I could run the top. And Kevin Bates, I had spotting on the backstretch, and he let me know I had 10 car lengths. And I said, well, I'll send it out there and try something. If it sticks, then we're able to get alongside them or whatever. But it's worth a shot right now. If we slide out, I probably won't lose second. I can try again in 1 and 2 or something. And he just slowed up the pace enough where I could kind of get around and then get back down to the bottom. And it surprised the hell out of me. And I know it surprised the hell out of everybody on my team when we're able to get down, get clear. And then once we got our car in clean air, it was it was just like flicking a light switch. That thing was just unbelievable out front, and we were able to put some car lengths down.
We got a question coming in here in the chat room. We talked a little bit about the fuel issue you had. One of the people in here wants to know, did you actually run out when you came across the line? Because we know you were leaking fuel. I don't know if it was out of the vent or what was going on.
Yeah, it was out of the vent. You try to, kind of outthink it and get really expensive and fancy parts and fancy hose clamps and all this stuff to hold the vent together. And I think what had happened was, rather than the clamping the vent tube to the vent outlet, the aluminum piece where you stick the catch can into, it just kind of like bottomed out and didn't get a total seal there. And I think that was our issue that we were fighting. Once we packed it full, and it was just weird. It was actually one of those things where we played with it in the shop this year. We knew, how long it would take to empty a dump can. We packed the cell full in the shop, and me and Maddie worked with it, Thursday night the week before, and got fuel all over ourselves, and really, tried to like dot our I's and cross our T's this year. Usually, we're never have enough time, really thrashing to the last minute to do stuff like that, and thought we had our ducks in a row, and then it just started pushing out, so it was weird. But yeah, that was the problem. It was blowing by the catch can vent, and I hate to say it, but the style is just about bone dry.
Yeah.
When we came across the line, it sputtered, and I stick the tank, yesterday washing or Tuesday I should say washing, and as long as my fuel stick wasn't lying, there wasn't much on it.
Yeah. What does this mean to you? When we look at the history of the sport now as a 3-time winner of Super Dirt Week, you're starting to get into that elite company now. You're not just a guy that won it on a fluke or the guy that did it better on gas mileage than anybody else. You've done it 3 times. No one can come up with an excuse as to why you're not, why you don't belong in that elite group.
It means a lot. It's such a team sport, and Syracuse is such a grueling and tough week, and it's great for our team to win it as a team. Everybody that puts so much effort into the week, guys that are taking time off work, and our sponsors, and people that are putting a lot on the line. For me, and to be part of it and help us all work together. That's what it means. It's just such a positive for everybody involved. For Jeff Daly, who put so much into our engine program and chassis program, making sure we have the right parts and the right stuff, and Dale Madsen, who was our tire guy this year and put a lot into it and helped sponsor the car this year. It was great for them. Eric Mack and Lauren Ward, my crew guys that are with me every Saturday and Sunday, just worked tirelessly on the thing all week long, and it's just such a grueling week. Everybody tries to have a good time, and we're going out at night and having a good time, but then you're up at 8:30 the next morning and doing it all over again for 3 or 4 days in a row. So it's tough, and it's just a really great feeling of satisfaction to be able to win the big race on Sunday and bring that home with us.
Again, chatting here with Stewart Friesen on the 31st lap, winner of Super Dirt Week 43, the Syracuse 200. How awesome is it to give another win like that to Jeff Daly? I mean, he has helped your program. He's been behind you. He's back here at Syracuse. For I think he said over 10 years. He said you two kind of got together. I believe he said back in 2004. how nice is it to bring home another title for Jeff and a team that it really is a small team. You guys aren't one that roll in there with a stacker hauler, and if there's a problem with the primary car, you got two more in the backup. I mean, that's it. You got what you got.
Yeah, definitely. My father-in-law helped us out a lot. Jess's dad, Ray, he let us borrow his truck and trailer and, the spare front axle he had. And I had an old spare rear in the shop. We threw that in just in case we had some major problems. And it's just one of those things where we put everything we can into our primary car because that's our car. So we definitely don't want to tear it up during the week, but it's worked out good. But Jeff knows what it takes, and big haulers like that, they don't win the races, and yeah, they look good, and they might be a little bit more comfortable, and you might be able to stay a little bit drier when it rains and stuff. But other than that, it's really not putting speed down on the track, and he knows that, and he gives us what we need as far as a good, awesome Chuck CC big block and great Teal Pro cars. Our Dan Bedell small block is really well. Everything's strong. So yeah, we're not one of the bigger funded teams, but by no means we don't have what we need. So I love working with him. I love working with Jeff. He's been going to Syracuse for such a long time. Back in the Dan Madsen, Duchess Overhead Doors days, he was hooked up with those guys and on the crew with Jimmy Horton and Dave Blaney. And so he kind of learned by example from Dan and how that team operated. And that's kind of what he's instilled in our guys and taught Matty Hearn how to be a great crew chief. And it's pretty cool to be hooked up with somebody like that believes in everybody on the team and just really, really pushes us to be all that, just push us to our full potential. He doesn't want to see anybody slacking, and if he's somebody slacking, he lets them know. So it's he's a great leader for us.
Talk. What, you got a question? No, I was going to ask him about something that I know you're interested in. Talk a little bit about, we've talked about the 200. I think you've answered everything we can ask you about that. How much fun was it on Saturday afternoon? I know Bombas is a big fan of the USOC Silver Crown cars. How much fun was that for you to drive something different, to be in a different car that you may or may never have the opportunity to be again on the mile?
It was a lot of fun. It was great to run top 5 with those guys, but it really wasn't fun until about halfway through the race, and I got comfortable. It was pretty scary and kind of just scared the shit out of myself every lap going around in that thing. Lost it in the first practice and glanced it off the wall and bent up the front end a little bit, and the guys got it fixed up. But just really appreciate that opportunity that Fred and Gloria Gormley gave to me to run that car. It's a great car. Rob Hart's a great crew chief, big time sprint car crew chief, and had the thing dialed in. And giving those guys a top 5 was something they were very happy with, and race with those guys was very, very cool. But it wasn't really a lot of fun until halfway, through the race, and I got comfortable. It was quite unnerving. They have a ton of power, and I was just really surprised at the lack of side grip they have getting into the corner. You just have to shut them down so early and get the thing underneath you, and then you can stand on it coming off, and they're just missiles, with no grip. It was a lot of fun. I got to talk to some of the guys. I got to talk to Tobias, and obviously Jerry Coons was a great teammate all weekend. And some of those guys were having the same feelings I was as far as the lack of grip getting in the corner. And they race at mile tracks that have tacky surfaces and cushions where they run those things wide open around the cushion all the way around. So I thought at half speed at Syracuse was scary. I don't know if I could handle, going out to DuQuoin or one of the places where they just run them wide open for 100 laps.
How much did the car change from the beginning of the race to the end? Because obviously you start with probably a full load of fuel at the beginning of the race, and the race being 75 laps. You're going to be running a lot lower at the end.
There's a lot of weight. The rear frame rails are just about dragging on the track.
Yeah.
And then they have a lot of adjustment built into them as far as rebound adjustments in the left side shocks that are cockpit adjustable. Unlike a normal sprint car, they have a front and rear brake bias, just like a modified, that you can adjust. Right front proportioning valves. So when the car was really loose with all that fuel at the beginning, we started with the right front brake shut off. And then, I turned that on to get the car straighter, getting it on entry once the fuel burned off. And then I just adjusted with the left front rebound quite a bit to try to hold the thing on the left front, getting in, and all those adjustments worked, and it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. I learned a ton about those type of cars. Those are cars. They're a lot different. I thought they'd be more along the lines of the sprint cars, but they're quite a bit different with the coilovers and the different packages. It was kind of cool to go through the pits and see the different ideas and the different theories everybody has. Every car was a little bit different. Whether they were split torsions or cross torsion, or some of the guys had like stacked torsion racks, and then some guys had torsion rears with coil helpers to take up for the fuel load. It was pretty cool, all the different theories, and makes some interesting racing out of it.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent race.
Yeah,
for 15 cars,
you know what?
It was
for
a
what
decent race.
it was what it was at the end. It stunk they only had 15 cars, but it ended up being a decent race at the end.
It was.
One more question coming in here, Stu. We appreciate again your time taking out of your night. They want to know: is the stash staying or is it going?
It's pretty greasy right now, and I actually shaved everything but it yesterday, so it's still on. Jess hates it, and I got to admit, it looks absolutely ridiculous. Having a lot of fun with it, and the looks that you get is pretty funny.
It's a porn stash.
Yeah.
It's not. If me and Jess were still dating, I probably would have, shaved it off a couple days ago. We're married now, so she's got to do a lot more work to get rid of me than just throw me to the curb. So I'm gonna leave it and terrorize her for a couple more days at least.
Are you gonna head up to what's the plans this weekend? And let's talk. You excited about Eastern States here in a couple weeks?
Actually, yeah, really excited for Eastern States. This weekend we don't really have anything going on. My cousin James Michael's coming down to run the Glen Ridge big 602 Nationals race. He's going to go slam and bang with my father-in-law Ray. He's getting his car ready, so I'm going to go over there and have a good time and watch those guys. Just kind of relax, and we're just trying to get everything cleaned up and serviced and apart, and kind of see where we are going into Eastern States. But we put a deal together today. We're going to run Jeff Daly's 44 small block. Our small block car from Syracuse, obviously just have to go through that and change the body back over. And then we're going to take our CC big block that we won the big block race with and actually put that in Tad Parks' the Fonda car for the big block race. So Tad's going to bring the car out this weekend, and we're going to do that all over our shop out here. So really, really looking forward to that. And we weren't really sure about what we were going to do with the big block race. We talked to Petrusca's about maybe doing something with them again, but I think this is going to be a great option for us, and I'm really excited. Tad's got a great car. It's a car I'm very comfortable in and really like, and to put Jeff's motor in that ran so strong in the 200 on Sunday, it should be a great combination. So looking forward to putting those two guys together and everybody working as a team. It's a good group of guys, and for Tad to offer up his car and Jeff to offer up his motor says a lot about those two guys. So just really, really proud to be associated with them and try to go at them here in 2 weeks.
Well, man, again, we appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on. As there, I don't know, I know you've thanked a lot of your sponsors. Thanked everybody. Anybody else you need to thank or anything that you left out or that you'd like to mention before we let you go?
I got to thank Jess for all that she does. She's right there with me in the shop, and there's, a lot of people get their pictures taken on Sunday, but there's usually not a lot of people around Washington the teardown the last 2 days, but Jess has been right there with me, so really appreciate her support there, and obviously my crew chief, Matty Hearn. I don't think I mentioned his name, but he's top-notch, and that first year we won with Ron St. Marie spot from Old Forge crew chief, and he learned a lot, or Matty learned a lot from him, and has kind of taken the ball and ran with it, and just really proud of the job he does.
Well, man, thanks a lot. We appreciate it, and enjoy your weekend off, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks down at the Orange County Fair Speedway.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Louis.
Bye.
Well, the extended edition interview here tonight. Just again, we want to give him his due. I mean, you win your third Syracuse 200.
When it's the biggest race of the year
for modifieds,
you should just focus on them.
Yeah, I mean it was an impressive. I think that's the only way to really say it. I mean, watch him come up through.
Not even just this past week, and not even just the last month and a half. Like you started the interview with. He's really been rolling the last month and a half. But
literally,
think about it. What is it? The last three of the last four?
He's won, yeah,
or three of the last five, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
three of the last 4, is it? or 5.
Let's take a look. I'll make it official here.
I mean,
we do have internet.
He's rolling pretty well at Super Dirt Week.
Yeah, I mean,
He's taken one of those, like what Brett had in the middle 80s to early 90s. He had a stranglehold on that place.
Yeah.
And now Stewie is kind of doing that same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Because there was a period there where Brett could not be beat at Super Dirt Week.
Right, yeah.
And
I mean, he won...
Now Stewie's doing that.
I mean, he won in 2010, 2011. Then it was Brett Hearn in 2012. That was the rain shortened race.
And then done 13. So 3 of the last 5 years.
Yep. So can't take that away from him.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's earned it. So, well, I think we've talked about the 200. You want to talk about some of the other stuff that happened this week at Super Dirt Week? I know one of the big stories that came out that's kind of been interesting, to say the least, is the Sportsman race.
That was the only race I missed.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Spellman...
I missed it. I was busy.
Was the one that was the winner. But at the end of the race, he was found not to have a rev chip in the car.
Yeah, I have not seen any post-race statements or read any statements or clarifications, but I did see some posts on DTD about it was a chip issue. I don't know
that is
facts or whatever happened, but I know it was a chip issue. So is that what happened when they got to Tech? He did not have it in the car.
Yeah, that was
it. It was not in the red box or whatever
and now
it's supposed to be.
The punishment for this is this. Okay, you get to keep the victory.
Yep.
But they dock you. I believe they took $4,000.
Right.
And he is open to possible suspension. And they docked him points, but he's not running the series, so who cares?
Yeah, if he's not in the point deal, the points mean nothing.
What difference is that?
And then they take whatever, half the money or whatever it is.
No, I think they took all of it.
Did they take all of it?
I think $4,000 is all of it. But still, I mean, my question is, what's a Syracuse win worth to you? It's
worth something because your name is in the record books, but these guys do this. Yes, they want the trophy, but the money means a lot too. And if you're not getting any of it, it doesn't mean squat.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, I look back and I look on the website. Will there be an asterisk next to his name? Saying, I mean, because let's be honest. Okay, to me,
I know that's a big topic right now on DTV.
That's the question. I mean,
it's never happened in the past, so it's not going to happen with
right.
This.
I mean, is that
there's a million races just like that.
Yeah, I mean, but how can you? To me.
A couple of Stewie's wins could have had asterisks next to them.
I mean, if you talk about the fuel cell, if you talk about the fuel cell, yeah, sure. I mean, but how do you?
Danny Johnson,
but this to me
could have as well.
To me, though, not running the rev chip in a rev chip division.
Yeah.
How much more blatant is the cheating?
I
know. I mean, again, you can say, well, it fell out. Come on.
I'm not a tech guy, and I don't know what the chip or how it goes in the box or what it even looks like. I've never even seen one. But I'm going to take a wild guess here and go out on a limb and say that chip is made to not work loose.
Yeah.
I would think it's got to be, if it's in there correctly,
but if you win a race,
it's going to be in there to stay.
In a race where you have to run at a certain RPM, and now your advantage is that you can run it at a different, higher RPM, isn't that?
And still win the race, even though you don't get paid, but you still go
win
out
the race, and your name
books.
is in the record books, and it doesn't. Yeah. You know what? You're still going to have that Eagle trophy sitting on the.
That's been an argument for years now. I for one,
I hate the NASCAR penalty thing.
I for one believe that if you're illegal, you're illegal. You go like somebody put on Dirt Track Digest, one of your posters, said that as if they didn't even exist in the race. I agree with that. That's the way it should be. They should be at least or at best posted last, or not posted at all. But either way, they shouldn't be left as the winner or wherever they finished, even if it was fifth. If you're illegal, you're illegal. That's my belief. But I understand how these last several years in the racing world, that's how we do it. Whether it's dirt car, it's NASCAR, whatever it is.
I know.
That's how that's how we do it now. Is when we leave the racetrack, we already know the top five, whether they're
I would
legit
rather,
or not.
I mean, for me, I would rather see the guy disqualified.
Yes.
And see, you know what? Like, I feel bad. You know, the guy's name, I think it was James Henry, James Henry's the guy that finished second.
Right.
You know, so if they go and do tech and there's no chip there.
Yeah.
So
shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not the society we live in today with racing.
Yeah, it's like and they're saying it's like people in here are talking about. It's like a It's like a
it gives the people the teams or drivers the incentive
to cheat because if you win,
you still get credit for it.
You still get the win. They don't take the win away. They're just taking the money and the points.
And ultimately, that's what they all race for is
the win. Because money doesn't matter.
Don't get me wrong. The money's nice,
but it doesn't matter.
But ultimately, it's that trophy.
Yep.
Not only that, you never really know for sure how much money you're going to lose because there's been a little bit of sliding scale. Given what your infraction is,
right?
So you don't know if you're going to lose.
They took half of it.
They got this fuel cell deal.
They took half.
So he still got $25,000 for that race.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's worth the gamble.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, cheat, screw
$25,000.
$25,000. I mean, you're not breaking even anyway, but
right. But it's $25,000 as opposed to zero.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it paid $8,000. I don't think it paid. I think it paid $4,000, but I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't think it was $8,000, but. Whatever it was, I didn't realize they took the whole thing. I just assumed half because that's what they've done in the past.
Yeah, they don't have the what it paid to win on here. I mean, maybe in the race report, if you look, they'll have what it paid. But I know he lost $4,000, so he lost.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice. That is not a.
No, for those guys, that's a
$4,000 is a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah,
for a sportsman guy that wins
for those
$400,
guys, it is.
That wins $400 a week. Yeah, I mean that is a lot of money.
Well, he's what, Orange County guy?
I believe so.
Is that the car that had Sparta Trucking on it?
Yes. Yeah, so he would more than likely be in Orange
County. Because I did
County.
not see the sportsman race at all.
Yeah, so I'm on the thing right now. Let's take a look here. Spellman officials levied a $4,000 fine, and he is ineligible to receive Dirt Car Sportsman Modified Series points for the race. Which, again, he doesn't care. Because
if you're not running for points, it doesn't really take all the points you want. Because I don't have any to take.
Right, there's nothing that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yep.
So it doesn't say what the race paid other than that. So there's no.
I gotta believe it was $4,000 if they're saying the fine was $4,000.
That would be the logical.
Yeah.
Because I mean, again, we're sitting here.
And I don't see that race paying much more than that. So.
No, I mean that's a good payday for a sportsman race.
Yes.
You know, there's nothing wrong with 4 Gs in the old pocketbook. I'm still looking for a victory lane shot with a check. I know somebody had to get it. It's just a matter of who got it. Because that's.
I mean, the small block race pays what, 20?
Yeah, and like 200 to start. You know, I mean, I hate being a dork about it, but I mean, again, you don't go to Syracuse.
Start 40 cars. So.
Yeah, you don't go to Syracuse to finish second or third. You know, you go there to win, and if you don't win, you're not going to make money.
You know what? It's no different than most any other race out there.
No, it's not. You're right. I mean, it's.
Although in recent years we're seeing more emphasis being put on throughout the field.
Oh yeah,
which is good. But let's face it, majority of your races, it's all at the top. Because that's what it's about. It's about winning.
Yep. Everybody picking on me for yawning. No, I'm tired. Okay, it was a long week last week, and I'm still recovering from working all week and various other things.
Surprised me a little bit. Stewie said he wasn't going anywhere. I thought for sure he'd at least go to Penn tomorrow.
Yeah. And you know what, though? After Dirt Week, I'm taking this weekend off.
It's an extremely long week. And those guys, like he said, the things that we don't see the weeks prior for prep to get ready to go, and then afterwards cleaning things up. It is an extremely long week. I mean, just the poor souls that got to wash just even the haulers in per se. Because you know how it is parking there. You don't park your vehicle there and it's not covered with an inch thick of dust at the end of the week just by having it parked there. So can you imagine what those haulers look like from all the dust in the pit area, as dry as it was all week long? There's a hell of a mess to clean up afterwards and a lot of work to do, especially if you tore stuff up. It's not over when they leave, when it's done on Sunday.
No. I mean, it's, you know, like anything from Super Dirt Week, there's a lot I mean, my car was filthy all week. I just heard it was going to rain.
I still haven't washed the dirt off.
I just heard it was going to rain Wednesday, so I didn't worry about it.
I still haven't run mine through the car wash.
Yeah, so
I couldn't even see out the windshield when I drove home on Sunday night.
I
finally at the end of the week, on my way home Sunday night, I hit the washer fluid for the wipers because it was so thick I couldn't even see.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see out the back window. Like I had to actually get out and wash it at the gas station. It was bad, but that's because I parked in the infield all weekend. So
yep, I know I was too.
I mean, if we're talking other winners at the mile, you know, of course, Brett Hurd won the 150 on Sunday or Saturday afternoon. Cody Swanson won the
Silver
Crown race, and then of course, and Rob Yetman won the Pro Stock race. Yep. So, I mean, those are the folks.
And of course, on Wednesday,
Matt Shepard won at Weedsport.
Thursday
and
at
then
Brereton was Brett.
Yeah, and then under the lights was
the heat races. You had the twins for the 358s was Shepard and Decker, I think. No, because Shepard blew his small block up. He didn't
Shepard,
run.
Hearn,
he won a
and
big
Phelps,
block heat race.
Yeah, Shepard, Hearn, and Phelps won the big block races. Billy Decker and Kerry Torrance. Kerry Torrance is a guy we have not talked about. He had a
strong week. I think, and then this is just my personal opinion, he had a super fast car both Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday. Probably
he
the
should
best
have
car
won Saturday,
on
but
Saturday.
he
was too rambunctious in my opinion. He was not patient enough.
Yep.
He was way over ambitious. Exciting, but over ambitious.
Yeah, I agree.
On Saturday, and I really believe that's where he lost that race on Saturday because he had a strong small block.
No, I agree with you. I agree that he had the car to beat
on Saturday,
and he had the fuel to beat.
Yep.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, he just got too anxious.
You could tell it was Super Dirt Week, and he'd not been in that position in that race before.
Right, and it's one of those things, where you talk about it. You talk about guys in Knoxville anywhere. If you have to finish second or finish up there before you can win it.
Yep.
Because you got
hopefully he will have learned something from this year,
right,
and apply it to next year if he's in that same position,
right.
Because he was strong on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very strong. He had the best car without a doubt.
Yep.
And the thing that he had is the guys in front of him all had.
Yeah, he had him right where he wanted him, and he really got a little overzealous there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Several times.
And then again, they all needed fuel still.
Yeah.
And he.
Well, they were in fuel
conservation
mode where he was full
just,
on.
Here I come.
And
yeah.
He got in over his head a few times, and it really cost him.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And he was pretty good on Sunday too.
Oh yeah. I mean, he came from 43rd. Now the only question was everybody was wondering how he got in. I don't have an answer for that.
I'd have to go back and look. To be honest with you,
there was no
off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you. He must have.
That was the hot.
He won the heat race, right? He must have.
Yeah, but he didn't finish in one of those positions. That was the gossip going on. I never investigated it. I'm going by what my guys were looking at.
See, I'd have to go back and look at all the results.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure, to be honest with you.
I don't know where the, because that was the only question that people were wondering, and they were asking me, and I did not have an answer as to how he got in, but I didn't pay particular attention to the heat races and the last chance qualifiers or anything.
I don't remember who was in the last chance qualifier, to be honest with you. And there's no results for it. I looked for them this morning.
Couldn't find them.
Catching up with my fantasy league stuff.
Right.
And I could not find the results for the last chance race on Saturday.
That's not anywhere. That's not even in the.
It wasn't on Super Dirt Week Online. I didn't see it.
Oh, I'm looking here. I know if I went back and looked at my Twitter feed or any of that, I could probably find it, but I have not found that yet. So I don't know. I don't even know if it was in the Was it in the Sunday story? Did they put they always put results at the end of that?
Or
didn't you look at it?
I didn't look. I only looked at the rundown. I didn't look at the story.
All right, I'm looking
for Sunday.
I'm looking now
because I was trying to get caught up on the fantasy league today, and
so yeah, you're probably 7 months behind now.
I was going through all those results. I got the modified league is up to date. It's current right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sprint car league, I'm still in the middle of it.
Yeah, there's no finish of the non-qualifiers races.
Yeah.
So
I know I couldn't find it.
Shepard got the pull award, $1,000 there. Yeah, so not there. So all in all,
yeah,
that's
he really did have a strong car both days, but especially Saturday.
Oh yeah, I thought that without a doubt he was winning that race. There was no doubt in my mind. We were talking on the radio that he was the guy to beat. I mean, he had it. It's right there in front of him.
Yeah,
and he just
for what he was trying to do, what he was trying to maintain, that pace for 150 laps was going to be very difficult, and it proved to not be successful.
Yeah, because what did he do? He got a flat tire at the end, right? Or the tire wore out. Didn't he wear it out?
You could tell the car started to get loose at the end, and I imagine there wasn't a whole lot of tread left on there. Because, he was right on the outside the entire race.
He was going at it.
He a few times he really slipped up in 1 and 2, and he worked his ass off, fly around somebody on the outside, and then he'd give 2 spots back because the next lap he got too high and get out of the groove. And
yeah. Where did he end up finishing? Let's see.
He must have passed about 15 cars and only passed 3.
Yeah, he still ended up third. So I mean, that's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean he had a good finish, but I think everybody in the place felt like he should have won the race at the end of it.
Yep.
And he didn't.
Yep. That race paid, if you're wondering, $600 for 10th.
I wasn't wondering, but hey, whatever.
I just saw it's in the rundown. That's the only reason I'm looking at it. But
yeah.
So I mean, he earned it, and he was fun to watch the whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to see him get more. You want to see him get more out of it, but you know,
yeah,
it is what it is. I mean, what else from Super?
I was happy with the 66, not the 66X. But the 66's performance.
Did he get another top 5
for the week on with the big block? Yeah, he finished 4th on Sunday. Pretty much exactly what I expected going in. He was a top 5 car, no doubt. And
yeah, he was there.
He had a strong car. The heat race went real well. I mean, he was real strong in the heat race.
He always has a strong car there. He's never.
Well, no, it's not always true. Last year he had Albert's car as a last second.
He still got
deal,
a top 5, did he?
And he still finished 5th with it. And they were no way, shape, or form prepared and ready to go to Super Dirt Week last year. It was like a last second decision.
Right.
They called Dwayne up and
he's supposed to just help the kid, right? He was just supposed to help the kid, right?
Eventually he was traditionally asked to go and help, and then they threw him in the car when he got there, and he was like totally not sold on the deal all week last year.
Right.
And then at the end of the week he finishes 5th just because he survived with the fuel mileage and all that. And
yeah.
But this time they came loaded for bear, and they had a really strong car.
Yeah. I guess the other story of the week, I guess we haven't really talked about, you know, the win and you're in deal. Everyone, we've been kind of chatting about, you know, in the chat room, one of the big talks was Ryan Susi, and talking about what he did, and then the crash on Sunday. I didn't see the incident. I don't know who drove into who. I mean,
I know I did talk to Billy Dunn afterwards on Sunday.
Okay.
I saw him in the infield, and let's just say Ryan's not on Billy Dunn's Christmas wish list.
We're using the Christmas card. They're not going out to dinner, and they're not exchanging Christmas cards.
I don't think so.
And you know, and
obviously I wasn't in either car. I
don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't see I saw the accident. I didn't see it close up. You know, I saw it from a long distance.
Yeah.
So to say who's at fault,
I don't know. I mean, I
only got one side. I didn't get the other side.
Right. I mean, my thing is, you know, you can say that. Well, why is Ryan out there? Blah blah blah. I mean, how are you going to learn? I mean, everybody's got to run the mile for the first time.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is.
If you're allowed to, if your car owner says
go for it,
Jeremy's telling him stay out there the whole race and run the race,
get the laps.
Then you got to do that.
Right. You got to get the laps.
I realized he was laps down. And Billy's argument was, I guess, for a couple of laps he'd chopped him, so he was aggravated. Excuse me, that he's got a lap car
right
up front with the leaders because he was top 5 at that point, and you got a lap car and mixed in with the leaders, and he's chopping them for a couple laps in a row. Why are you chopping me? I'm in the top 5. You're 2 laps down or whatever it was at that point. So I understand his frustration. You know, I'm not saying he needs to just get off the racetrack. But if you are laps down and you know it, and you're in the mix with the leaders and you know somebody's there, you got a guy in your head telling you there's somebody behind you, and it's 5th place, you do need to give him some room.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying you got to roll over and die,
right?
But you do need to give him some room.
You know what the problem that is caused, though, when you get the lucky dog deal?
Well,
that makes guys race.
That's the thing I'm not sure of. If he was 1 lap down, he was in the lucky dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what lap that was.
I thought Billy had said he was multiple laps down, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know what lap that was that it happened. I don't remember, but whatever.
It was fairly early.
But again, if you have that chance to get back on the lead lap, you got to do what you got to do. And
again, you could still let Billy Dunn go and still be in that position. You just don't want to let another lap car go by.
And you don't know who else is there. And I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
And then the leaders are lapping somebody else next, and
and you're trying to stay with them because you're trying to you're trying to get back to that guy, and knowing how difficult passing can be.
Yeah,
there's so many scenarios that it's got to go through your mind if you're driving the race cars. Again, I don't know who did it, and you know, Ryan Susi, he earned his way out there. They do a win and you're in race, and he put himself in it, and everybody's got to learn. So whether he learned from it and he made a mistake and he realizes he screwed up, I don't know if he did or didn't.
Yeah, that's just it. I didn't see him to talk to him afterwards.
Right, and I didn't see the crash. I don't know if who got into who or what.
Right.
I mean,
I couldn't see it well enough to make a decision.
It sucks for both of them, and I really feel for Billy Dunn. You know, coming off winning the race, and to have that super let down on Sunday, that sucks.
Yeah, and it happened fairly early, too.
Yeah, and that sucks. I mean, that totally sucks, to end your day like that.
Right.
You know, so.
And like you said, I didn't see the crash well enough to form an opinion of who I think might be at fault or who wasn't. You know?
Right. I didn't either. And that's where I can't really, comment on that and get in the middle of that.
Is he sleeping?
I don't know. Chris, how you doing over there?
Good.
He's snoozing.
You even got your microphone on? No?
No.
Good grief.
No, I don't even have it on.
There you go.
I shut it off when I was up the phone.
So what were you doing this weekend while we were all at Super Dirt Week?
How many demolition derbies did you go to this week?
You know what? I'm just going to beat that back. Yep.
Oh, look, there he is. He's awake.
I was in Virginia on Saturday.
Oh, okay. That's
Virginia.
right. I remember you saying that you had the demo derby this weekend.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's I mean, I thought Super Dirt Week, like I said, that was probably the best racing I've seen at the mile. And as a whole, if I'm looking at Super Dirt Week as a whole, looking at every race that I went to, every race that I saw, I thought it was the best racing overall that I've seen.
The weather was good. It
Bar
was
none.
cool, yes. Of course, it's October. It's Syracuse. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was dry. Little bit of rain early Wednesday, but nothing major. Still got the racing Wednesday night at Weedsport, and after that, it was really beautiful all week long. You know, it was just cool. But most of us fans will suck that up and expect that as long as it's dry.
Yeah.
That's the thing you worry about.
Yeah.
So all in all, it was a very good week. I'm pretty sure the World Racing Group is satisfied with the way things went. I know Joe Scott-Nicky sent all of us employees an email early this week that he forwarded it to everybody, an email that he received from Andy Fusco. And of course, those of us who've been around a long time know
who Andy Fusco is. Yeah,
has been around Dirt Motorsports and the whole World Racing Group. You know, that whole he's been around this whole sport for many, many years. I think he's missed maybe one or two Super Dirt weeks in his entire life, since it's existed. And he wrote Joe a nice note saying that, commending him and his staff, and they did a great job. And he thought that Sunday's race was the best Super Dirt Week Sunday race he's ever seen.
Yeah, that was...
Which is kind of nice. That's just somebody that's been around to see almost all of them.
Yeah, you know what I realized? Looking back, this was my 10th one. That's it. That I remember. Because I was a little kid, but that was on count.
I've been going every year since '85. I've only missed 2 of the Sunday races.
I didn't realize I was there for all the other ones. Looking at it.
One was work-related. First year starting a job. Didn't have any vacation.
Well, we started watching.
I went up in the middle of the week for a couple of the weeknight shows, but didn't see, the Sunday race.
Yeah.
And then the one that Billy Decker won, that we all had to go back in November.
Yeah.
Again, I used my week of vacation for Super Dirt Week, so when it got rained out, I couldn't go back.
Right.
So I missed that one. So I've only missed 2 since '85.
I'll tell you what. This is our what? This is beginning our 4th year now.
4th season. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you look at it,
this was our first show 3 years ago, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that for
2011?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And if you think about it, we started sitting together to watch the 200.
We've been doing this for
probably since 2011, but
yeah.
we started sitting together in the stands in 03 or 04.
Yeah, 04 was my first year.
Yeah.
It's because it was Tim Fuller. I know the only reason I know that is because I have hanging on my wall at home. I have the first race report. One of my good friends took a copy of Very Auto and had the center story that I wrote for my first Super Dirt Week framed for me. So I still have that.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
And it was Tim Fuller winning. That was my first year really in writing. So that was 2004 when I really got into this whole writing deal.
Nice.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, and
I did a couple before that, but I haven't been to the last 2.
yeah, you've been missing out. Don't worry, though. I did have our celebratory beverage prior to the start of the 200.
I heard
one at the beginning. That was it. Afterwards, ugh.
After that, it's just emptiness.
Yep.
Canadian Thanksgiving's going to sneak up on you in a hurry.
I love Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian things.
It is.
It is.
It is. Monday's Canada's Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, jeez.
Do you own a calendar?
He doesn't care. He's American.
I know, yeah.
I like our friends to the north, eh?
That's right.
So
I'm sure you
I'll
didn't
be
offend.
there tomorrow.
I'm sure you didn't offend a soul.
So what are you doing this weekend? You're off, right? You're going to Brockville, right?
I'll be headed for Brockville tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm off, taking it off, going away, doing a little Great Escape with the girlfriend. So
Nice.
yeah,
Cool.
relaxing, something different.
Brockville tomorrow and Saturday, and hopefully we will not be racing on Sunday.
Yeah, well, how's the weather look?
Sunday's a rain day. I looked a couple days ago. I'm going to look again tonight.
Not that it means anything,
But I
'cause it
looked a
can
couple
change.
days ago, and the weather was not. It wasn't the most promising forecast.
But everything changes, that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not. I don't even. This weekend I'm not worried about it because again, after Super Dirt Week, I need a week off. I'm tired. And then 2 weeks now. Guess what? I love Eastern States.
Freaking do.
Woohoo! Love it. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I can.
Dude, it's Eastern States, man. How can you
Big
not
deal.
like Eastern States?
I used to love it.
What happened? It's
We've
awesome.
had this discussion a million times. Beat a dead horse. Need new management.
I love it. Can't wait. Can't wait to be there. I love the 3-day event.
They've destroyed that race. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
this year now,
How many caution laps are we gonna have this year?
Oh, there was a lot last year. Oh,
The last 3-4 years. It's
now
all
I
caution.
did hear, but here I did hear this. I asked Joe Skotnicki if the last 25 are going to be run under, if the caution laps are going to count, and he said, "What's the word I'm looking for here?" Right now, no. So the last 25 will be run under green. So that will change that race. Because,
That'll help at the end, but
yeah,
it's the whole race getting to that point. It's all caution. I mean, I know you can't run 200 laps all green. You'd be there all day at that place.
Oh, and the
You
other
would be there till midnight.
the problem you get is, everybody, one of the other things that I heard a lot of, there were some cautions at, I-88, and there were some cautions, at Rolling Wheels. They had some issues with the modifieds, cautions, and so on. I mean, Chad Holman took a nasty flip.
I saw the video. Of the Holman,
that was nasty. But,
power wreck.
I think what was neat about Saturday night, and I think you have to take this into account, there were 132. When you look at, there was 24 modifieds at Rolling Wheels, there was 48 cars at 5 Mile Point, and there was 60 at I-88.
Yeah, but now you're not counting the ones at Syracuse either.
Right, you're not counting the guys who ran Saturday afternoon. So
everybody was adding them up Saturday night, but they were forgetting about all the cars at the mile.
Right, but I didn't want to count them because those are just guys. That's a separate deal. I'm just talking at a single point in time. There were 132 cars racing during the day. There's some crossover there and so on. So that's why I didn't count that. But 132 cars, and you're going to get cautions and incident when you have that many race cars on the racetracks, period. Because there are instances where guys, and this is what happens at Eastern States, why there's so many cautions. Because you have guys racing their way in that don't have the experience of being in the big race and that know what they're doing. I guess that's the best. I'm saying that in the best politically correct way. You know what I'm saying? So,
You want me to say it?
No, I'm not going to. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But, it's just you don't have the experience factor. You don't have the talent, the same amount of talent when you have that many cars competing.
There you go.
No, and that's a fair assessment. I'm not taking anything away from anybody that made those races. But, they're not all the what you're used to when you see like a Super Dirt Series race or whatever. When you have that many cars competing, it's unbelievable.
That place is so narrow. It's so hard to pass there. And
you're going to have 45 cars, 43 cars start that race?
they'll usually start 44, 45.
Yeah, so you're going to have wrecks. And I'll be the
narrow,
first guy.
It's hard to pass.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be the first guy bitching in the grandstands when they go under caution and they're 9 laps.
Yes. And
I'll be
that's
complaining because I'll be
That's
pissed.
the other issue. Caution after caution, and the cautions take forever.
Yep, because you got to open pit road and let
So we're
everybody
sitting
cycle
there.
through.
The fans are just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Like, I didn't pay to watch these cars go round in a parade. If I want a parade, I'll go to Macy's on Thanksgiving Day in New York City.
I know I didn't go to the Outlaw 200, but I know they had an issue too at the beginning of that race with a ton of cautions the first 100.
The first half was probably one of the worst first halves I've ever. And it was still a decent show, but for that race, it was one of the worst first halves I've ever seen in that.
Yeah, just too many.
In that race,
I just heard there was
caution
a lot of
after
cautions.
caution
Yeah,
after caution. They couldn't get more than 2-3 laps at a time.
Okay.
Very, very unusual for that race.
Yeah.
Extremely unusual.
So
it was just one of those nights, which you're going to have that over 20-some years.
It's going to happen. It's
But the history has told us the last few years this has become a regular thing with the 200 at Orange County.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. I agree. I hope there's less cautions. I mean, I know they strive and they work for it, and but we will see.
Yeah.
So
can't wait.
Well, Chris, anything to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything. You going to be here next? You going to be here next week?
What is next week? Yeah, probably.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
You
I leave for Eastern State.
I know he doesn't want to. Do you want to touch on the chase at all or anything?
No, screw that.
I know he doesn't like. I know he doesn't like to.
You guys go ahead. Turn my mic off.
Kevin Harvick won Charlotte.
Yes, he did.
I didn't know. You know what?
He's been.
Can I tell you this? I didn't even know that.
You didn't?
I had no clue.
Harvick's dominated like the last 10 races and finally won one.
I know he's been good. I mean, who's on the bubble now? Who's on the verge of being out? Tell me Jimmy Johnson's on the way out.
Jimmy Johnson is out right now going into Talladega. Brad Keselowski. I'm trying to remember now. Casey is maybe out by 1 point, or he's in by 1 point. I know there's 1 point from the last guy in to the first guy out.
So who's the guarantee? The only guys that are guaranteed are Logano and Harvick.
Right.
Yeah, because they won.
They've won 2 races. Now this is the 3rd race before the cut.
Right.
Okay.
So the winner of this goes in unless it's Logano or Harvick again. And then after that, they figure out by points. And they'll be eliminating another, 4 guys?
Yeah, 4 guys. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's enough of that.
Another crappy thing, like we've said all along of this whole format, one of the best cars in the entire chase is not even in the goddamn thing.
Kyle Larson.
So stupid.
Because you're wearing a Larson shirt,
it's
right?
So friggin' stupid, this format. It literally is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It is dumb.
It is.
You know, I get...
It's the drama, yes. It's created drama. There were brawls up the yin-yang the other night after the race. Did you see any of that at least?
No.
Brawls all over the place. People smashing cars on pit road. Oh, it was insane. So they got the drama they wanted. But this isn't the WWF. There's certain guys that should be in contention, and there's certain guys that should not be. I mean, you got a guy like, and never mind that I'm a fan. I'm just talking, forget that side of it.
Right.
He's been one of the best cars in the entire chase. His worst finish is 7th.
But he didn't make the chase, so he doesn't.
But he's
count.
not in it.
Right.
But then you got guys like Allmendinger, Almirola that are taking up spots. Why? Why are they
won
there?
races? That's it.
It's so stupid. It really is.
Then win your race.
Ridiculous.
So the only 2 guys that have won are Logano 1 and Kevin Harvick 1. Kyle Busch did not win in the chase, right?
No.
Okay. So then he is currently the guy on the bubble. Or he's the guy that's in first. Then you've got Newman, Edwards, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Casey Kane. Now they cut 4 cars. So the bubble cars
are 4. Jimmy Johnson's in there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth.
Okay.
And Casey Kane has a 1 point advantage over
3
Matt
of those
Kenseth.
4 guys are former champs.
Yeah. Like Hamlin is 7th, and he's got a 16-point edge. I mean, he could still screw up and lose it, but
now, I guess if you want to look for the positive side of the chase, which it's very difficult for me to find a positive thing, but for some of those Jimmy Johnson haters, the chase right now, the format is good because he's on the verge of getting kicked out.
Yeah, but
he literally could not win this title if he does not make it through this week.
Yeah, and somebody said it though, right? I mean, here's the thing: they got 3 races or 4 races in each round. You win 1 race, and you could drop out the next 3, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, exactly. And that's where I got a serious issue with this. You can be so inconsistent, like Harvick has been. Harvick's been the fastest car for the last 3 months.
Every race,
he's dominated almost every race this season, it seems.
Yeah,
but he's only won a couple. Because he won this week, now he advances. But he's been so inconsistent.
Ironically,
super fast.
Ironically, Mike's not yawning now.
No, it's just...
It really is. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense to have a system where you either you win and you're in or you're out. It's not baseball. It's not soccer. It's not football. It's racing. It's always been different.
And that's what they're trying so hard to be. They want to be the NFL, and it's not the NFL.
And you're not going to be March Madness because nobody cares about NASCAR like they do about college basketball.
Right.
And
it's not the same thing.
And people don't gamble on NASCAR like they do college basketball. They just don't.
No.
They don't gamble on NASCAR like they do football. That's,
right.
Why do people? Why is that? Why are those the most watched sports? Because people are gambling.
Yes.
They want to make money.
And it's a different kind of gambling where if you do gamble on racing, it's your driver that you gambled on against 42 other guys.
Right.
As opposed to, you gambled on the Giants against the Eagles.
And you get 6 points.
It's one-on-one.
And you get 6 points. You're spread. You
got
whatever.
a 50-50 chance of winning.
Right. Right.
Now, there's 42 other reasons why you're going to lose.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. It is what it is, but.
It's It's asinine.
It's just stupid that we have to keep changing it. What happened? Just let them race and see whatever happens.
Yeah. What happened to the sport being based on your overall performance throughout the whole year? The whole year doesn't mean squat anymore.
Yep. No, I agree.
It's based on how your last 3 weeks were.
Yep.
It's dumb.
No, I agree.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I mean, in all seriousness, at the end of the season, if you calculated the points out like a normal season was, say, 25 years ago, where it was the entire 36 races, total points, you're going to be looking at that 42 car's got a legitimate shot to finish in the top 5, but yet the best he could do is 17.
No. The best he can do technically is second, because when you get kicked out,
17th is the best he can do.
No,
there's 16 guys. Oh,
did they? Oh, you have to make. Okay, I'm thinking because I know, like guys like an AJ Allmendinger, technically based on points. Once guys keep getting knocked out, they get regular points again and compete against all the guys that are knocked out. So you technically can finish in the top 5. You can finish 5th in points if you don't make it to the final race.
Even if you didn't make the chase in the beginning?
If you made the chase, I think it is.
Yeah,
and then they break you at the 16th spot. Then you're racing for 17th.
Yeah, it really is
stupid.
Silly. It's silly.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Allmendinger or Almirola could not finish any of the 10 chase races, and worst be 16th.
Yep.
How stupid is that?
It doesn't make any sense, but it is how it is. Anything else you want to hit on, touch on?
What I mean, you and I haven't been here in weeks, so I don't know. What are we missing? You got Trophy Cup starts tonight out in California.
78 cars. I've been getting the updates.
78 cars?
Yep.
I knew they had a hell of an entry list.
What else?
Night 1 of the Trophy Cup, which for those of you who don't know, that's a 410 wing sprint car race at Thunderbolt Raceway, Tulare, California. It's one of the crown jewels as far as wing sprint car racing goes.
Yep. So
it's a 3-night gig that starts tonight.
Other than that, I love Eastern States. That'll be the next time I got
Small Block Modified Super Dirt Series tomorrow at Brockville. Big Block Series Saturday at Brockville.
And then you've got Penn Can, King of the Can tomorrow night.
King of the Can is tomorrow night. That's the next to last day-o race of the year?
Yeah.
Gobbler's the last one?
Gobbler's the last one. And then you've got a couple weeks, you got Yates County racing Friday, Saturday. So still some races to go. I mean,
Yates County's racing the same as Orange County, right?
Yeah, my schedule is pretty
same.
Pretty much done here. I mean, I got this weekend off. Like I said, going away. Then 5 Mile Point races the
after
Halloween.
Orange County, between Orange County and Charlotte.
It's Halloween. I think I'll go Saturday. I don't think I'm going to go Friday night. I'm going to go Saturday for the modified ROC finale race.
I might go to the modified show.
Then I am going to Charlotte, and then the 15th I'm debating between Bridgeport. I think they have a poker race.
They got their weekend deal.
Or Susquehanna, one or the other. I'm debating.
Why? What they got going on?
410, the last 410 race.
That's not the Candy Bowl show, is it?
Yeah.
With the ARDC?
No,
show?
I think. Well,
Candy
no, they had a big falling out with ARDC.
Oh, the Candy Bowl is not.
They
happening?
had a huge fallout with ARDC.
Oh,
Susquehanna did, and there was an issue.
So the Candy Bowl is canceled.
I don't know if it's a Candy Bowl or what. Hold on, let me look. I'm on their website.
That was always ARDC's last race.
Yeah, I'm looking for the schedule, but there's nothing here.
Speaking of that,
all right, here we go.
They're racing this Saturday at Grandview too.
Grandview's racing this weekend, yeah. So the 15th is the final showdown. It's called. It's 410s, 358s, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
The Candy Bowl is the same week. It's the 25th.
So it is still on.
They have the PA Sprint Series, which I believe is 305s.
Mm-hmm.
Wingless Midgets, so that's ARDC, but it's not ARDC sanctioned. Sportsman Modifieds, AMCS Stock 600 Microspids, Sidewinder Sprints, and Legend Cars.
So the race is still on. It's just not an ARDC race.
Yeah, there's a falling out with ARDC.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Something happened. I don't know what it was, but.
So you're contemplating Bridgeport or Susky?
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah. So Delaware State Championship
that weekend
this
if we go to Bridgeport.
Okay, I'll let you know. I don't know which one I'm going to. I know you want to go there because of Dwayne, but I'd like to see Hod at one more race. You know how that is. I'm a homer.
I haven't been to Susky in years.
So.
Let me know what you decide.
All right, I will.
I might do something.
So. What do you think, Chris? Wake up. Hey, you know what's nice, Chris? You've done 9 shows in a row by yourself. At least now you didn't have to talk.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
working out just fine.
So, well, I think we should put a wrap on it. That's an hour and a half. That's a moneymaker.
We did good.
It's a moneymaker.
Moneymaker?
Yeah.
Where's this money?
I don't know. Still waiting for the paycheck, but
we could use a sponsor.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Here, you want a sponsor?
Yeah, dirttrackdigest.com.
No, here we go. Bang.
Well, D'Amico's one of the few people who actually spent money.
Done.
There we go.
And yeah.
No.
One of our
here's another sponsor.
One of our former sponsors. Well, actually, our first ever sponsor we had on this show.
Yeah.
Was Craig Revell.
Yeah, that was. I'm sure. Did you talk
Finish Line Web Design.
About that last week? And yeah, that sucked.
I think we would be wrong to not at least throw a little shout out because you and I were not here last week.
Yeah, so. I know. I agree with you, and I made sure we mentioned that.
It's a big hole.
On Friday night, I talked about it. You know, we've always sponsored the last couple. Well, this past 2 years now, Dirt Track Dodgers has sponsored Friday Night Lights, the sportsman portion.
Yep.
The last few years we've done it in memory of Tom Ames. You know, and this year I made sure I mentioned, you know, Craig Revell. I mean,
yes.
I don't think people will realize how much Craig did for this sport until
what you said over the PA at Syracuse Friday night was very, very good.
Like he does so much for this sport, and he gave back to everybody. I mean, the little guy, the big guy, it didn't matter.
And he's the nicest guy you could
nicest guy in the world. You know, and it always happens to the nice guys, and it sucks because he is one of the best guys in this sport.
Yep.
The guy never had a negative word to say about anybody, anything.
Never.
You know, a track could really screw up and step on the ding dong, and
he would find the positive.
He would find the positive in it. And he always tried to support our sport, make it better, and you know.
And that way, that's how he always reminded me of Tommy, because Tommy was always the same way.
Same way.
That is not true. That is not true.
What?
He had one complaint one time.
What's that?
One time. He was upset that Rich Post was sitting on the Nerf bar at Jessica's car and was going to screw.
That's right. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, but, okay. So
happy birthday to Rich, by the way. He actually has a birthday party.
Yeah. So.
What is he, like 75? He's had 40th birthday since I met him.
So so that was definitely a devastating one. I mean, I know I was in shock when I heard it. And we're definitely going to miss that guy. And, you know, another guy that we lost this past week, and another good guy. I mean, I don't know if you knew him or not, from the Finish Line chaplain, Pastor Dave Miller.
Yes. He stopped and saw me every Saturday at the gate.
At Fonda.
Every week at Fonda all summer long.
When I saw him at Fonda, you know, I always talk to him. And, again, another just a nice guy. And a guy that loved racing, loved being around the track, being around the people.
Yes, he did.
And all that. And it's just.
He was at Fonda every Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, that was a loss that, you know, it just. You know, we were talking on the way out. It just seems like it's the nice guys.
Another one is, since we're on this subject, that I got a text late on Saturday night that I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do. Once you may not by name, but once I tell you, longtime Jack Johnson supporter, was always in Jack and Ronnie's pits since I'm 44, and he's been there ever since I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I spent my entire life as a Jack Johnson fan. And John Fissler was always
with Jack Johnson
in Jack Johnson's pit area for as long as he's been alive. He was the gentleman. If anybody was a Jack Johnson fan, ever saw anybody around Jack's car or pit area that was in a wheelchair, that was John Fissler. And he unfortunately lost a battle with cancer and passed away on Saturday night. So thoughts and prayers go to his family too, because John was a very good guy. Another guy that was always really nice. Biggest Jack Johnson fan you'll ever meet, and I always thought I was the biggest one. But if there was ever anybody bigger, it was him.
Yeah, it definitely, man. It's been a tough week for that, and again, we send our thoughts and our condolences. You know, I thought the coolest thing I saw with Craig Revell is that the GoFundMe thing. They did like a donation page for him, and
yes.
They raised almost $9,000.
Did they really?
From donations from people to help cover the cost of his memorial and his funeral, and that's awesome. I mean, that shows you the impact he had. I mean, you look through the names of the people that gave back. It was race teams, it was promoters, it was, you know, a lot of people that really respected Craig and what he did, and you know, and the sport needs more guys like him.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it was his job and he did it full time, but he was the one guy, again, that he always was positive. Always. Yeah, and it was just, you know, it was sad. I mean, it was probably one of the saddest things. And what really stunk is this year he was going to be a part of our team. Like, he was lined up to be on the DTD team and,
to
take a major role in helping us out during the week. Yeah, and, you know, I was excited about it, and he was excited about it, you know, because I love working with him. I mean, I've worked with him before, and we've sat in the tower at Can-Am just, you know, bullshitting, whatever you want to say it. Yeah. And then, you know, to hear that it was gone, it's surreal, you know. It's very sad. So
extremely.
I mean, with that, I don't want. I guess I don't want to end on a sad note. So.
Well, I didn't feel right if we didn't mention.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree. I didn't
because I know we missed out on it last week.
Yeah, I know Chris mentioned it last week, and I do know if you want to go see sprint cars, they got the Scone on. They got Spoon and Sportsman Modifieds on the dirt on Saturday.
They've run 2 races already.
Yeah,
now?
so if you're, again, so get out, support your track, have some fun this weekend, and again, next time you're going to be negative or you're going to be pissy or whatever, think about. What we've talked kind of about a little about here at the end. Be thankful for what we have. I mean, it's
and we're all guilty of
pissing
and moaning.
Oh, me too. 1,000%.
Getting mad about certain things, and you know what? We all love this sport to death, or we wouldn't do this.
Yep.
And it's hard to be positive all the time, and that's why I really respect the people that we know, friends that have come and gone that were always positive, like Craig or Tommy Ames.
Yep.
They were always had a positive word. Because I wish I had more of that in me.
No, me too. Because I don't.
I can be cynical. I can be miserable.
I got
sometimes.
A cynical side. Yeah, yes. I agree with you, man. I agree. And just look at the bright side of things and be thankful that you can be at the racetrack. So.
Yep, absolutely. So what you're saying is I need to smile next weekend.
Yeah, smile at Eastern States and pretend you like it.
So we'll do it again next week?
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Sounds good to me.
Well, have fun on your travels. When sounds like we'll rally the wagons and come back for episode number 135 here next Thursday, right here in Finger Lakes 1. Yep, 135. Can you believe that? Here we go. We'll see you next week.
Schlong.